AI is rapidly shifting how we organize and work. But if we want a human-centered future, we can't just react to technology. We are all agents in shaping change. Let's help technology and talent work better together.
Give us like a sharp right turn real quick into employee experience, because this is like a super hot topic. You talk to any heads of HR, heads of talent, myself included, and they're always concerned and want to optimize the employee experience. And it makes sense. Think about your experience on airlines or any shopping, and you have a good experience, you're going to have brand loyalty. You have bad experience, you're going to shop around and go somewhere else with your business. Same with organizations, especially in the early days of joining a company with onboarding. It's very frustrating to not be able to find information that you need in an efficient way to do your job or to get acclimated to a culture. And companies that win and have highly engaged employees have great customer experiences or employee experiences in this lens, right? And so the employee experience has been a hot topic in the field for a while. And we talk a lot about being employee led, and you own your own career, you grow your own career, and that sounds good, but it's hard to do that without systems and structures and processes that facilitate that. And so I think we all as a profession have been working towards continuing to try to improve the employee experience, but it's hard work, right? So
Yeah,
can you talk about what Brave has done in this space recently to try to optimize the employee experience?
sure. What I would want to start with is just by acknowledging that the employee experience is like a funny type of experience to optimize. So just to give a counterexample to illustrate this, customer experience. There's been a lot of work on optimizing customer experience, and it's very clear what the outcome is for success. Uh, One, it is to sort of maximize their satisfaction. So their needs are met, they accomplish the goal that they want to accomplish, meet their need, right? That's number one. Is the customer happy? Are they meeting their need? And for the business, it's to make money from that. So to be able to create value so that I get paid something and you're satisfied. Employee experience: who's getting paid? Who's being satisfied? Um, is it that that the employer is buying from the employee and then the employer needs to be satisfied? What's happening here? So it's just a different system with an ambiguous outcome. Is the success staying with the company a long time? Is it producing a bunch of outputs? Do those outputs stay the same? Do they change? So how are you going to optimize against something where you don't know what the optimal outcome is? So what we've said is that to get a great employee experience, we have to come up with some kind of shared goal. So we've named that talent lifetime value. It's basically like this talent is able to live into their potential and achieve as much as they have desire to achieve while they're in relationship with your company. So while they work for you as a consultant or a full-time employee, they're doing the most that they want to do, and you're getting the most value from them for their expertise. So they're working on things that are actually important to you as a firm, and they are actually contributing that. So we asked, okay, hypothetically, if that is the optimal goal, talent lifetime value, even if they only stay with you for 2 years, during those 2 years, they did the most they could do in those 2 years that are super valuable for their career and for your firm. Then the question is, what are all the things that they need to know? What are all the things that they need to unlock to actually get to that point? So we've started with something quite simple, which is just like question answering tool for them to actually figure out what they don't know when they hit a roadblock. So if I have a question, if I'm doing onboarding and I have a question about my vacation or how a particular process works in my firm, I can get that answer instantly. I don't have to wait, for several days being frustrated by HR's response time. I can just get that answer and move on. That's at the very low level. At the next level, it's starting to answer questions about things I would be more interested in. So as I've developed and grown with the firm, I found that I'm more interested in some projects than others. I'm more interested in some goals or objectives in the firm than others. How do I align myself more with those? So what are the future openings in my areas of interest? What are the roadmap sort of career paths in my areas of interest? I can start to get more information about job opportunities, skill development. And then at the next level, it's even more giving autonomy and control to the employee about making plans against those. So starting to ask for help. Hey, can you draw a custom career plan that would allow me to get to this point that I aspire to get to, that aligns more with my values and interests than potentially what I'm doing right now or what I was doing.
And
So
what's interesting about that, sorry to interrupt, is like
No.
that that example that you just gave about the development plan of the career path that is generated based on data that I provide to AI, and then it helps formulate it and taps into the network of all of the information in the company.
Yeah.
Uh, that process, correct me if I'm wrong, is like lightning fast.
Yeah, it's essentially instant. And with some of these tools, um, it's also iterative over time. So as you ask more questions and share more information with your bot, it will become more closely aligned to what you're looking for. So the very first question you ask, I'm a junior engineer and I would like to become CTO. How could I do it? The answer might be very generic. But
Mhm.
as you start to talk more about, I'm more interested in data engineering than pure software engineering, or I'm more interested in contributing to some of these big, hairy future problems in R&D than I am in some of the, say, core infrastructure of a technology, then it will start to give you more options that are more closely aligned to your particular nuances and essentially customized. And so these things can be done really fast. Essentially, as you interact, you could potentially do them in one sitting. But through your interaction with the bot, the answers will be instant, but also through your interaction, you'll get more closely honed responses that help you. And then
Yeah,
obviously you want to involve your manager and other people in the process as a talent. But what this bot is doing is it's helping the employee sort of get their head around what's going on. And it's also making information a little bit less hidden. It's
yeah,
helping to sort of maybe HR has provided, information, but they don't know where it is or it's not specific enough to their situation. So what these bots do is allow people to just get to the point, get to the specific thing that they need to understand to have their next conversation
yeah.
with their leader.
It makes sense. I mean, it's almost like we were using systems and networks, and AI is further creating connective tissue. Is what I'm playing with in my mind as I
Mm,
listen to you, and it's like this connective tissue to all the learning and the learning management system. All the skills that are in job descriptions that are open roles right now.
yeah,
My interests and in terms of my career, progression, how my interests and skills and all the learning all connect to create the development plan, right? And
yeah,
the power of that happening super fast and giving me what I need. And the other thing as I was listening to that I just wanted to double click on briefly is this idea that in as a head of talent and in companies, my mission was to equip and empower individuals and talent to drive their own career, to grow their own career. But all this stuff was siloed, especially in large organizations, global, complex, fast moving. And
yeah,
so that value proposition and that EVP, the employee value proposition, wasn't always optimized because again things were siloed or fragmented. And with AI, all of those things can be connected quickly. So this creates a fulfillment of the value proposition, the promise to the employee, and a great employee experience that in the past was quite challenging. And so if
mm,
I'm sitting here as a head of talent or someone in the HR team, I'm like, oh, this actually makes me feel really good because I'm helping our employees get what they need to progress, to learn, to grow, and this is what we're all about, right?
yeah.
So part of what we'll continue to talk about is how like AI is actually complementary to all that we do, provided we are informed, educated, and empowered to use it in a way that's ethical and serves the vision and the values that we have as a company.